In this episode, we do a deep dive into the third eye chakra and how it impacts our intuition. Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to ditch the outdated beliefs, release the blocks, and fully embrace your sovereignty so you can confidently expand to allow more love, joy, and aligned success in your life. I am Niajae, your conscious accountability partner, reminding you that abundance is your birthright. Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning into the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? Speaking of manifesting, I am starting Manifestation Mondays and I am so excited about it. This will be available virtually and in person. If you're in person, I live in Florida, so I'm in the Tampa Bay area. Definitely reach out to me for more information. You can DM me on Instagram at Niajae, Niajae, or you can go to my website, niajae.com, to find out more information about the in-person session. So virtually, it will be accessible to anyone in the world. You can join me every Monday to help you release blocks, amplify intentions, raise your vibration, and accelerate manifestation. So, if you are in a space in your life where you are trying to manifest financial success, love, and passion, if you're trying to manifest children, I know a lot of people trying to have children right now. So, healthy children, if you're trying to manifest travel and fun, or good health and well being, you definitely want to join in on Manifestation Mondays. It will be live, and I will be using the sound bowls to amplify what it is you're trying to manifest, amplify your intuition, because the sound bowls produce energy. So when you combine an intention with the energy and the vibration, that is when the magic happens. So join me Monday. If you want more information, again, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Niajae or go to my website, niajae.com. I'm super excited about it. I've seen how setting intentions while playing the sound bowls has really just sped things up for me. So I'm excited to offer this service to others. So again, Manifestation Mondays, we're starting and it is going to be amazing. And this is actually something that is included in Abundant and Aligned Society. So if you have been on the fence and thinking about joining Abundant and Aligned Society, this is the time to do it, because with your membership, you get access to every single Manifestation Monday call. And that is an unbelievable deal. So if you want more information about that, definitely go to my website. All right, let's dive into today's episode. We are talking about the third eye chakra. So we've been going through all of the chakras, and so far we've gone over root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, and throat chakra. So that leaves us with only two left. So we have third eye, which we're going to talk about today, and then crown, which we'll talk about 2 weeks, because I do a solo episode every other episode, just in case you're joining me for the first time, letting you know how things run. So, the third eye chakra is also known as the pineal gland, and the element is light. Ooh, I love that. The element is light. It illuminates everything as it is without the filter of your past, your expectations, or your judgment. And that is so powerful. I always say that we see the world through rose colored glasses. So, and rose colored glasses, like maybe your color isn't rose and you're seeing it through like lime green glasses. I don't know why that's a saying, rose colored glasses, but it basically just symbolizes the filter in which you see the world. So if you're someone who grew up and you had a single parent and all of your needs weren't met, you didn't get the love and the nurturing that you craved or desired or needed, then you tend to see the world through an avoidant attachment style, for example. And your programming is to self-soothe, and your programming is to not trust that other people can support you, love you, and nurture you. So basically this controls our perception, how we see the world, and if we see the world through a specific lens due to our programming. So the color is indigo. And The third eye controls intuition, higher knowledge, wisdom, and insight. It controls our perception, how we see ourselves, and how we see the world. And it's the link between our mind and the outer world. So it's the link between our mind and the universe, or that higher consciousness. So, what does an underactive third eye chakra look like? And just a really quick recap, underactive means that that chakra is not receiving enough energy. So, an underactive third eye chakra shows up as lack of concentration or focus, fearful of the unknown, always seeking external answers, advice, or validation, lacking intuition. You can't trust yourself, unable to self reflect. So, these are the people who say, I can't meditate. It's a lack of self awareness, people who are not aware of how they're perceived or how they show up. It looks like someone who is unable to see past illusions. So, someone who's like very gullible, and someone who's disconnected from their body, numb, and lacking imagination and has very rigid thinking. So, an underactive third eye chakra is just someone who is going through the motions. They're numb, they're not really feeling, they're disconnected from their body. They are just on that hamster wheel and they're not feeling. They're going through the motions, they're blowing in the wind. They're not trusting themselves, so they're always seeking what other people think and what other people say they should do, be, and how they should show up. So this is someone who's not trusting their own intuition, or not even connected to their intuition or how their body is communicating with them. So, an overactive chakra, quick review, is when your chakra is receiving too much energy. That chakra is in overdrive. So, an overactive third eye chakra shows up as overindulgence in imagination, excessive daydreaming, overwhelmed, mental exhaustion, indecision, clouded judgment, mental fog, and over analytical. That's me. It shows up as judgmental in the sense of you can't see past your own filters. You can only see your perception. It shows up as lack of clarity, or like I call it monkey brain. So, overactive chakra, and as we've gone through the chakras, the ones that I say I have like problems with always err on the side of overactive. Obviously, I have a ton of energy and sometimes it creates a little chaos. But overactive chakra, someone who's over analytical, like not giving situations time to just like flow into place. Like you have to like over analyze and process everything, over process. And someone who just can't focus on one thing because they have monkey brain and there's so much going on in their mind. They have so many ideas, and ideas are great, but when you have too many ideas, you don't give yourself time to implement one of them or see one through. So, this is just someone who just has too much going on and they need to just take a deep breath, ground, and balance out their thoughts so they're being productive. So, what does a balanced third eye chakra look like? It looks like self awareness and being able to see the world clearly, and access to deep truth and wisdom, harmony between your thoughts and the universe, inner peace and clarity. This shows up as being connected to your body, your intuition, and your inner trust. And you're open to new ideas and perspectives, and you have a healthy imagination. You're connected to your clairs and spiritual gifts. So when I say your clairs, it's your clair abilities. And I actually did an episode on the 8 clair abilities. So I believe that we all have spiritual gifts. We all have access to all of the clairs. It's just activating them, and some are going to be stronger than the other. So I'll touch on 3, and if you want to know all 8, definitely check out that episode. I'll post a link in the show notes. So let's talk about clairvoyance. This is probably the most common one that people talk about, clairvoyance. So that is clear seeing. So this is someone who says like, I see this in your future, or I see that this happened in your past. There's someone who can see things. Their intuition communicates to them through seeing. So then we have clear cognizance, which is clear knowing. So this is someone who may say like, I don't know how I know, but I just know. I know that this is this way, or I know that this is right for me. I know that this is not right for me. I know that I should go this way on the highway instead of going this way. So that clear knowing. And then clear audience, which is clear hearing. So this is someone who hears their intuition, which is one of my primary clear abilities, which probably is what led me to sound. And that's why sound therapy was so profound for me, because that is my dominant clear ability. So, if you want more information on the clairs, definitely check out my episode 8 Clear Abilities, because I break down all 8.
What do you do for energetic self care? Life challenges us. However, we have tools to help us navigate the transitions, release trapped emotions, maintain positive energy, and expand to allow more joy and excitement. Abundant and Aligned Society is an energetic self care accountability program that helps you go from stress and anxiety, fight or flight, to operating from a place of abundance and alignment. Go to niajae.com/society for more information and start vibrating higher.
So, how exactly do you balance your third eye chakra? So, obviously, sound therapy is a great way to balance all of your chakras. So, sound therapy, binaural beats, and then also meditation. Meditation, again, is a great way to balance all of the chakras. However, it's extra important with the third eye chakra because it's going to help connect you to your intuition. It's going to provide clarity. So, meditation for third eye chakra is really, really powerful. Just giving yourself time to sit and be with yourself, to connect to your intuition. And for the people who say, I can't meditate, I can't sit in silence, why can't you sit in silence? Because sometimes we don't want to hear what's actually going on in our heads. A lot of people say that meditation is quieting your mind. I believe that that's not the first step. The first step is observing what's going on in your mind, and then having the ability to choose what's serving you and choose what's not serving you, and practicing shifting your focus when, like, this is a question I used to always ask myself when I started trying to shift my focus is, can I change this? Can I change this? If I can't change it, it's no sense in me worrying about it. So, being able to shift focus when it's something that I can't do anything about, because worrying is just lowering your vibration. So, being able to shift your focus when the thought or feeling isn't serving you, but no spiritual bypassing. You want to make sure that you honor whatever it is that you are feeling, and then choose to shift away from it, or ask yourself, is this perspective serving me? Because sometimes we choose a perspective that isn't serving us. And I talk about this all the time. So if you look at the glass is half empty, the glass is half full, same amount of liquid, it's just your perspective. So Abraham always says, is this perspective serving me? Or you can go through Byron Katie's The Work, where you ask yourself the series of questions. Is this story that I'm telling myself true? Is it absolutely true? Who would I be without this thought? So going through these processes will help you choose what thoughts and feelings you want to hold on to and which ones you want to release. And then once you have that process down, then you can work on quieting your mind. But if you take someone who's never meditated before and say, okay, sit in silence and quiet your mind, they're never going to meditate again, because it's hard. You have to be able to first observe and process, take inventory. That's how I like to say it. Take inventory of what's going on in your mind. Get to know yourself, get to know yourself on a deeper level. So before you try to quiet your mind, understand what's going on in your mind. So meditation is really powerful for this, and just really sitting with yourself, journaling like, what am I feeling? And when I first started doing this, I got a little, what is the name of those journals with the dots? I forgot the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. But there's the journals with the little dots in them. So it doesn't have to be that one, but that's what I got at the time. And I wrote out a few questions. How am I feeling mentally? How am I feeling emotionally? How am I feeling physically? Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I would rate it on a 1 to 10, like in the morning and in like towards the evening, because we have a baseline resonance of where we are when we wake up. When we wake up, before we get on our phones, before we check our mail, before we get on our email, before we check social media, we have a baseline resonance. And checking into like how you feel when you first wake up, because you may check your email and it may send you on a downward spiral, or it may make you really happy, like we don't know. So before you get on your phone, same thing with social media. It's easy to get frustrated when you get on social media. So, checking in how I feel as soon as I wake up in the morning, like that is your baseline resonance. And then, how do you feel towards the end of the day? So, that will help you determine, well, I had a pretty good day because I woke up this way, but like let's just say you woke up and physically you felt at a 6, and then by the end of the day, like maybe you worked out, maybe you ate really good, and so you're feeling really healthy and strong and vibrant. So maybe towards the end of the day you feel like an 8 because you really took care of your body. So that lets you know, okay, let's do more of this thing because this made me feel really good. And then actually, my partner was just telling me a story yesterday. He ate like Cuban food for lunch and it made him sluggish for the rest of the day. So if you start out at a 6 and then you're like, actually now I'm at a 4 because I overate, because Cuban food tends to be really heavy. No offense, because it's really delicious. So I'm not saying anything bad about Cuban food, but usually you don't want to stop eating because it's so good. So then you're at a 4. So then like, okay, well, this is actually, even though it's good, it's something that kind of makes me feel sluggish. So let's not eat Cuban food for lunch. Like maybe it's more of a dinner thing, or maybe I need to cut my portion in half. So taking inventory of where you're at is going to help you connect more to yourself and connect to your intuition and get back in your body. So meditating isn't always just sitting in silence like this. It's not always that. And I mean, some people do that, but it's not always that. So, really, just having that awareness that there are other ways that you can do a form of meditation. Journaling's really good. Taking inventory, like I said, of what is going on, so you know how you feel mentally, physically, and emotionally. The next way is opening up to wisdom. So, reading, listening to podcasts like this one that's going to expand your mind, and talking to someone with a different perspective or background. We tend to like to gravitate towards people that are like us, and we have a circle of friends that are like us, and sometimes our families are like us, not always, but sometimes. And then you have this thinking that's kind of in a box because you're not talking to someone with a completely different perspective or with a completely different background. So, really sitting down and getting curious with people who have different perspectives, because it will help you expand your mind. Travel. I say travel as much as possible. Travel is the best way to expand your mind, seeing other ways of life, seeing other cultures. I mean, honestly, before I started traveling, I thought life was like there was a box, and I was just like, okay, this is just how life is. And then when I started traveling and meeting people that lived completely different than me, it opened up my mind. So my first trip, I love telling a story. My first trip was international trip was to Costa Rica, and I went for an aerial and yoga retreat. And I was there for a week and I thought I was hot shit. I thought I was hot shit because like no one else around me was traveling internationally. And then I went alone. So I'm traveling internationally by myself as a female. That was a big deal in my circle, in my little box, right? When I got there, I met women who were traveling for a full month. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing or it was possible at this time. And then there was another lady who was traveling for like 3 months, and I'm just like, how is this even possible? Like my brain could not wrap around it. And this is just one example. So it's not necessarily a different culture, but just a different way of life. And I'm just like, my brain cannot comprehend how this is even possible. Do you not have to work? Do you not have to pay rent? Like, I don't understand. So it just really expanded my mind and really expanded what's possible. So for me, I think that travel is one of the best ways to expand your mind and like in the physical like 3D world. Now when it comes to expanding your consciousness, meditation, sound therapy, those are the best ways to expand your consciousness. So this is getting into different realms, and people talk about 5D consciousness. So really expanding your consciousness, meditation, and sound therapy. And then another way to balance your third eye chakra is movement. And the thing with movement is it's getting you back into your body. So I talk about this all the time. Our society loves to numb. We have a lot of numbing activities, scrolling on social media, video games, shopping. I mean, I will say, like, I can scroll on Amazon. I can scroll on Amazon forever. So, like, definitely a mind numbing activity. We have drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs. You have like Xanax and all types of different things that people are using to numb. So they're not in their body. And this may be an unpopular belief, but I believe CBD oil and CBD products is something else that is numbing, because people are taking CBD for pain. But when you have physical pain, it's because there is a root cause. And if you numb it, then you're not actually getting to the root cause. You're masking what's actually going on. So every pain, ache, physical ailment is our body communicating something to us. And if you numb it, you're not getting that message. So it's really important that we get back into our body and start feeling again. If there's chronic pain, it's for a reason, and you have to get to that root cause rather than just masking it by something that's going to numb it. So movement, yoga, nonlinear movement, somatic descent, like these are all different modalities that will help you get back into your body and connect to your internal wisdom, so you know what it's communicating to you. So really, really powerful. There's a lot of things that you can do to ask yourself to really tap into your third eye chakra. So how is my body communicating with me? What is my body communicating to me? How does my intuition communicate with me? Do I feel things? Do I hear things? Do I see things? Do I have really vivid dreams? Like, what is being communicated to me, and am I listening? I say this a lot in my sound baths when I talk about third eye chakra. Am I listening? So really ask yourself, are you listening to what your body and intuition is communicating with you? And do you give yourself time to dream? And when I say dream, like imagination, what's actually possible beyond just what's right in front of us? So a week long travel for me was a big deal, but do I give myself an opportunity to imagine traveling for 6 months? Do I give myself time to imagine that? And when you do that, you tap into the infinite possibilities. So our humanness keeps us in that box. Society keeps us in that box, but there are different realms and different levels of consciousness. There's different levels of possibility. There are endless, infinite possibilities. So our third eye chakra is what allows us to even see that, to see what's possible beyond what's right in front of us. And there's a lot of people that are like, well, I have to see it to believe it. That's limiting, so limiting. So believing that it's there is the first step. So one of my favorite quotes is, those who do not believe in magic never experience it. And it's so true. So those who don't believe that there's different levels of consciousness or different realms, they're going to stay in a 3D. They're going to stay in a 3D and live a very average, mediocre, minuscule life. I mean, it's true. So you have to believe that there's more possibility out there. You have to believe that there's other levels of consciousness. You have to believe that there's other levels of abundance and joy and passion and pleasure. If you believe this is as good as it gets, then that's how it's going to be. You're not going to get past what you believe is possible. So the third eye is all about possibilities and connecting to your intuition and trusting yourself. You would not believe how many people don't actually trust themselves. And it's a ebb and flow. It's not linear. There are times where you're like, hell yeah, I trust myself, and there's times where I'm like, I don't trust myself. Let me tell you, when it comes to Neiman Marcus and Christian Louboutins and my Neiman Marcus credit card, I don't trust myself. I don't, but like if it comes to like starting a business and being disciplined and getting work done, oh hell yes, I trust myself because I know I get it done. But if I know I have my Neiman Marcus card on me and they have some brand new Christian Louboutins in Neiman Marcus, that's a whole nother story. That is a whole other story. So, it's not linear. I just want to remind you to be gentle with yourself. So, as you're learning these things and you're exploring spirituality and exploring self development, be gentle with yourself because it's not linear. There is no right or wrong. It's a journey. It's a journey that has so many different twists and turns and variations. No two journeys are exactly the same. So, wherever you are, honor it and then imagine what's possible and where you want to be and allow the universe, kind of surrender to the process and allow the universe to fill in the spaces. So, yeah, I still haven't traveled for a full 3 months. I haven't, but at least I know it's possible now. And at least I know that it is something that I can do. I have fur babies, leaving them for 3 months is not, my idea of like being a good fur baby mom personally, but at least I know it's possible now. And I can actually wrap my brain around how I can make that happen. So, years ago, I wasn't able to do that, but I've expanded my level of consciousness. And now I know it's totally possible if I didn't have fur babies. So, yeah. Let me know how you feel about this episode. Let me know any thoughts, any questions, any feedback. Wherever you're tuning in from, you can take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at Niajae so I can share the love and also know where you're tuning in from. So, I hope you found value in this, and I hope that you continue to do the work. And I will just tell you firsthand, it is not always easy. It is not always easy showing up and doing the work, setting aside the time to meditate, setting aside time to go to sound therapy. Come to one of my sound therapy sessions. You will not regret it. They're amazing. But of course, I'm biased. But no, seriously, even if it's not with me, YouTube binaural beats, like wherever you are, if they have a sound healer in your city, like go to a sound bath, feel the vibration, start to heal on a cellular level, expand your level of consciousness to just open up and allow the abundance and alignment to come in. Like it's already there. So allow it into your reality and just watch how your life shifts. Just witness it. Take inventory and witness how your life shifts. So again, I hope you found value in this, and until next time, be decadent.
Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.